Welcome to part 12, element margins. So the margin is the space outside of an element's border. And each element has its own default values for the margin. The margin can be set with the following four properties: margin top, right, bottom, and left. Or this one shorthand property like this, and this will be talked about a little bit later. Let's take a look at our HTML down below. So let's go ahead and execute this cell, which will render the HTML in the notebook. So we have two headers, H3 and H4, and between that a paragraph. So there's three elements, and here is the style. So each element has been given a border that is blue and dashed and 2 pixels. So that'll help us know where the element extends, where its beginning and end is in all directions. So if you'll notice here, there is empty space between the H3 and the P tags, and also with the H4 tag. So this space is the margin. And what we're going to do in this section is just change values of the margin so that you can see how it works. All right, so let's go ahead and let's change the value of the margin of the top of the paragraph. So we can set this to some number of pixels. And if we make it something large, like 100 pixels, and that's larger than the default, well then it'll push it down below. So it'll give it some margin of 100 pixels. Same thing for the bottom. We can make the bottom maybe 50 pixels and move it down. We're adding more space down here between the P and the element directly below it. We can also add margin to the left. So we can put some, by default, it spans the entire width of the parent. So we can make, I don't know, maybe 30 pixels on the left. So that'll just add some space over here. And then we can put margin right, maybe make it quite a bit more over here, say 150 pixels like that. So hopefully you can see how we can control the spacing around an element with the margin. Now, let's say we wanted to put this paragraph right up against this header up above it. Well, we can make the margin top 0. You might be wondering, like, why is there still space there? Well, this header has its own margin on the bottom. So this H3 header has some margin right there. So we can say margin bottom. If we make that 0, then it'll lie directly, the borders will lie directly on top of one another. Okay, so that is how you can control the margin individually using each of the properties like this: top, bottom, right, and left. Or you can use what's called a shorthand property. So the shorthand property, you have to just remember that it is in the form of, it's one line that you provide top, right, bottom, and left. Now actually, if you just provide a single margin, so let's just say 100 pixels, it'll do that 100 for all four values. So for all four properties, top, right, bottom, and left, it'll use 100. Now, or we can set it individually in one line. So let's say we want and the order matters here. So top, right, bottom, or left. So if we provide it four values, say 0 for the top, 100 for the right, let's say 0 for the bottom, and say 200 for the left. So we would get this. This header is not up against it because the top margin over here is not set. So let's just set this one to make it 0. So it's all together, margin top. And now they're all together. There's no margin vertically between them. There is 100 to the left, or sorry, 100 to the right. There is 200 to the left for the paragraph. So that's how you set the margin, and that's how the margin works. It's just the space around a particular element. And you can either use the direct properties of each one, or you can use this shorthand version like this.